Approximately 21 chapters ago, Boruto's life changed for the absolute worst, forever. His life got swapped with his adopted brother Kawaki. This was caused by the greatest Shinjutsu in the Naruto verse, called Omnipotence. With this power, the user is able to alter reality and rewrite memories to fulfill one's wishes and desires. It's described as a programming language that gods use to create worlds, and to make anything a reality. So because of this, Momoshiki declared this to be the strongest Shinjutsu in existence. EIDA used this Shinjutsu in a desperate attempt to help Kawaki fulfill his wish of having Boruto become an outsider who wasn't the Hokage's son or his brother, a complete nobody who nobody would care for if he died. So this way Kawaki could just kill Boruto without any repercussions. So once he said this, EIDA subconsciously activated her Shinjutsu to heed Kawaki's desire, and his desire manifested in the swapping of him and Boruto's life. It just so happened that this happened right after Kawaki sealed Naruto and Hinata in a separate dimension where time does not flow, called the Daikokuten dimension. And not only that, everyone knows he tried to kill Boruto directly after as well. So the sudden disappearance of the Hokage, as well as the attempt to take Boruto's life, as well as Eida's lie, has everyone thinking that the Hokage is also dead. And instead of everyone thinking Kawaki committed such heinous crimes, they now think Boruto did it, therefore chasing him out of the village, officially making him a rogue shinobi. Now the only people that are said to be impervious to the Shinjutsu is Otsutsuki and blood relatives, meaning besides the caster, which is EIDA, her younger brother Damon is unaffected, Momoshiki, as well as Boruto and Kawaki. But unexpectedly, there was also two other characters in the story that are not from Otsutsuki descent and not blood relatives to EIDA, yet also seem to be impervious to omnipotence: Sarada Uchiha and Sumire Kake. And through many chapters and theories upon theories, we finally have our answer to why that is. So quickly, before we proceed any further with the video, I was hoping you would drop a like on the video, as it would help me extremely in the YouTube algorithm, as well as help us reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. I'd appreciate it greatly. But anyway, let's continue with the video. So when chapter 79 dropped, I pretty much remember it like it was yesterday. It was quite literally just something you had to be there for to understand. Albeit I wasn't doing YouTube at the time, I was still heavily involved and in tune with everything going on within the Boruto community. We was all wondering, out of everyone, why was these two girls unaffected? Did they possess some kind of powers that countered omnipotence? Did they secretly have some secret connection to the Otsutsuki that was unknown to us? Or maybe EIDA subconsciously freed them from the effects of omnipotence because of their close connections to her. It turns out, in the latest chapter of TBV VORTEX, we more or less got our answer to this long-awaited mystery. So yes, you guessed it, this is directly tied to Sarada's MS reveal. But it's not the reveal itself, it's the acceptance that caused her to reawaken his power. Ever since early on, Sarada showed herself to be a character that has a deep, overly emotional connection with the people she most cares about. Just the anticipation of finally seeing her father, since she was a baby I might add, caused her to subconsciously awaken her Sharingan. And it's really the same for the first time she awakened her MANGEKYOU. The deep state of frustration that situation put her through, plus the fact that she couldn't do anything to help Boruto, was enough to put her over the edge. Let's look into this some more. It all really started after Momoshiki's first manifestation. She's seen it with her own two eyes, the fear and her concern for her friend awakening something in Sarada that she couldn't even fully comprehend herself until recently. And that's her great yearn for wanting to help Boruto. The hand that Boruto's been dealt in life has not been the greatest. She has seen that and come to terms with how she was gonna help him through it. She wanted to help Boruto. She stated it multiple times, but not knowing how she wanted to do it led to her thinking she has to get stronger for that to happen. So this secretly became her entire reason for wanting to be strong in the first place, to protect him from his fate and fight against it so that he may have a better one. Once Sarada finally stopped deluding herself and accepted this to be the reason she yearns for power, her secret power awakened at last. The chapter that this event occurs in is called Because of Love, which clearly can be interpreted in different ways because the last two chapters have been primarily focused on the concept of love and how the Shinju perceive it versus how humans do. JURA also mentions how it can be a hindrance to the Shinju if not conquered. So regarding that title, a lot of things happen quote unquote because of love. This entire situation between Konohamaru and Matsuri manifested itself because of love. Because of love, Matsuri didn't devour Konohamaru and allowed him to trick her. And also, because of love, Konohamaru let victory slip out his hands. But it's also true that because of love, Sarada could finally accept her powers as her own and truly understand herself, understand her feelings, and why she wants power. All these twisted up feelings inside of her stem from love. That's the root of these feelings. It's literally because of love. You see what I'm saying now? And let me just get this straight right now for all the people that are insinuating something that I have never even said. In all my years of watching anime and things of that nature, I never ever like to get into shipping, especially when it comes to the main character. Shipping culture in anime in general can get pretty heated. I've seen people do some crazy things because people don't like it that their favorite YouTuber or someone that has a certain level of influence don't ship two characters together. I do understand the feeling of that. That's why I'm not gonna get into it all that much. I simply don't want to bring that unnecessary attention to myself. But with that being said, I'm still gonna say just because Sarada loves Boruto, that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be in a romantic way. There's a lot of ways a person can love someone with it being completely platonic. We already went over how Sarada's emotional levels operate differently than other people. She can simply think of Boruto as a brother who she loves to great extremes and cherishes his life above her own. It's not too far-fetched to say this, because in an anime-only arc, she literally says she views Boruto as a brother. You can question the validity of this statement all day, but the fact still remains, this love can be on the same level as romance for the right person. It's still love. Now, I can be completely wrong, and the love Sarada has for Boruto can 1000% be romantic, and everything I just said will still be valid. Because at the end of the day, it's still the same level of love, just perceived differently. But one person who we can say has romantic feelings towards Boruto 1000% confirmed is Sumire. No surprise there. Sumire was never really confused with her feelings towards Boruto. She even stated it very early on that she gets jealous when other girls like Boruto. So when Sarada just hugged Boruto right in front of her eyes, it really hurt her, especially because Sarada did it. And Sarada out of everyone should understand the feelings she has for Boruto and respect them. Yet she let her love overwhelm her, causing her to act subconsciously out of pure emotion. Believe it or not, some may have ignored it, but Sumire understands Boruto on a more emotional level than Sarada. She understands why Boruto had to move how he's moving now, the pain he has to bear just to keep them safe, and why he can't tell them certain things that they definitely want to know. Sumire understands that pain. That's why she basically told Sarada to chill on him and take a second to put herself in his shoes before she continues to judge his actions. Like I said, the love they both carry for Boruto is very deep. However, they love him in different ways. I believe Sarada connects with Boruto a little better mentally, but speaking more emotionally and empathetic, Sumire is able to understand him slightly more. It's just that Sumire hasn't really had any meaningful conversation with Boruto yet, which is kind of crazy now thinking about it. So of course many people won't be able to see what I see. She just simply hasn't had the opportunity to show that she can understand Boruto. Getting a little off topic, I hope they can talk a little bit more going forward in the series, especially since she has such strong emotions for him. Because if Sumire is gonna have a chance at Boruto feeling the same way about her, she needs to start talking to him more, build a stronger relationship with him, and hopefully get closer to him. That relationship isn't gonna be built in a day. It takes a long time to build that connection with someone. And if this is a relationship Ikemoto wants to potentially push in the future, it starts now. It should have really started already if we're being completely honest. So overall, the truth is Sarada and Sumire are immune to the effects of omnipotence because of their own perception of love towards Boruto. But each individual perception of love is strong enough to bypass omnipotence. So with this logic, if Hinata was of course not sealed in another dimension, omnipotence wouldn't work on her, or Naruto either. Them both being Boruto's parents, they have a specific perception of love towards Boruto that is strong enough to bypass the effects of omnipotence, regardless if you're an Otsutsuki or blood relative to the caster. If not completely bypass it, then heavily question the validity of their memories. We can already see hints of this idea in Himawari. her heavily questioning everything pertaining to Boruto's alleged crimes. She's still affected by omnipotence, don't get me wrong, but she's shown the strongest resistance to it out of everyone that is 100% effective. She isn't necessarily questioning whether Boruto is really Kawaki and vice versa, but she's realizing that something isn't right. Now, getting back to Sumire and Sarada, now that we established love is the main reason they're both not affected by omnipotence, let's talk about how they can go about reversing it. And I'm sorry to break it to you, but anything that has to do with reversing omnipotence has to go through EIDA and EIDA alone. And you can't reverse the effects of omnipotence. It's simply impossible to undo something of this magnitude. But you can redo omnipotence according to another person's desires. The entire purpose EIDA's omnipotence got confused as a love charm is because of EIDA's deep desire to make genuine relationships with people. She wants people to truly like her and adore her as a person, but she can't because of omnipotence. That desire has manifested itself as what appears to be a love charm, but in reality, it's just her omnipotence power forcing people to act a certain way towards her. One thing that's certain, if EIDA plans to truly help Boruto, there is some things that must be done within her character. She not only gotta learn more about her power and learn if there is a way she can control it, but more importantly, she has to discover who she really is. What does she stand for? In all reality, to me, EIDA's just a naive teenage girl. You say you're sorry this happened, but you don't feel like you want to do anything to really help Boruto's situation because you want to help Kawaki more than you're sorry about what happened to Boruto, a boy who doesn't care for you nor wanted anything to do with you in the first place. So it's like they can find a way to really help Boruto, but let me say this clear for people that may not understand quite well. EIDA does not care. She doesn't care to fix things because to her, that's just too much hard work that she's not willing to do. So she just wants everyone to accept the current conditions and move on with their life. So for Boruto to really get his life back, EIDA just has to care for him enough. And as it stands, her blind love for Kawaki is still much stronger than her desire to help Boruto. And it's gonna stay like that because EIDA is just an immature girl who's in love with the idea of being in love. Her character is flawed right now because she doesn't have any empathy, nor is she an ethical person. But by the time the series ends, she might have more of an idea of who she really is as a person and what she truly wants out of people, Kawaki can't give to her. As it stands right now, if EIDA can't learn how her own power works to the point where she doesn't casually alter reality for the entire world, she can't exist anymore. She's just way too dangerous to stay alive. She'll just be a hindrance to herself and the world around her. So basically, that's the secret behind omnipotence. It's not affecting Sumire and Sarada because of love. Now, what we don't know is whether they're unaffected because love in general is just a weakness for omnipotence, or because EIDA's deep desire for love and friendship subconsciously created that weakness for omnipotence. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. We know there isn't technically a way to reverse omnipotence, but is there another way for EIDA to help Boruto? Maybe recasting omnipotence, or perhaps exposing herself for the lies she told everyone and putting a stop to Kawaki's plan. Let me know how you feel about this topic, and remember, if you enjoyed the video and don't mind seeing more videos like this in the near future, I'm gonna need everyone to drop a quick like on the video, also comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss another upload or when I go live for chapter spoilers. And until my next video, I'll see you boys and girls later, and I'm out. Peace.